Welcome everybody back from the break. Thank you very much. Today is Saturday, the 9th of May 2020, and it's my delight to welcome Vance Stevens for a presentation on TALIN. Now, he's founded TALIN just a couple of weeks ago, basically with the beginning of Corona, and I was part of the very first sessions, and I just absolutely adore them. They're so wonderful, informal, informative, and typically the personality that Vance is. He's such a welcoming, comforting, like you just feel great in his presence.
It's like Heike. So comfortable.
And I would like to ask the audience if you could just give a bit of a one-liner in the text chat for him so that he knows sort of, are you a language teacher? Are you a teacher trainer? If you want to express yourself in the text chat. And whilst you're doing this, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Vance Stevens, who lives in Penang in Malaysia. He used to live in Saudi Arabia for quite a long time. And he's recently, about a year ago, he moved.
Almost 2 years. There's some sound needs muting, and since I've got a screen share, I can't see the.
Yeah. Angelica, can you mute? Thank you so much. And
okay.
well, yeah, about a year ago, I think you moved to Penang. Is that right?
Almost 2 years.
2 years already.
Almost 2 years, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess in August. 2 years in August.
And he has, over a period since 2010, produced some 460 episodes or webinars, and 150 publications. Then the publications, they are mainly available in full text and deal with students using computers to learn languages and teachers learning to teach using technology by engaging in communities of practice, and in particular, participatory cultures. He facilitates online teacher professional development through numerous communities of practice. And he has helped coordinate TESOL and CALIS, Electronic Village Online Evo, since 2003. He was recently awarded the 2019 CAL Research Conference Lifetime Achievement Award. Without further ado, over to you.
Sure. You mentioned my publications were available in full text. I thought I would just put the link there. There we go. So those are my publications. So it says 135 here, but there are also reviews and things like that. So it comes out to about 150. Okay. Well, thank you very much for your introduction. I'm going to talk a little bit about TALIN and how it got going. These links, by the way, are online. Did I see? Oh, darn, that thing came up here. Oh, well. Okay. Oh, well, anyway, if you can see the slide at the bottom, which, there we go, bit.ly, bit.ly/TALIN 2020. If you go to that link, you can follow these slides. And if I could grab it, I would, oh, I can't. Okay, anyway, I'll get it in another slide. Okay, so anyway, this is what we're doing right now. We're at virtual roundtable, and basically you can see that in the program. So I just put that in the slide so that people would know where we are. Here we go. Oh, all these things are down in the, in the bottom there. Okay, anyway. Oh, here we go. I can get a corner there. Copy link address. Yes, I got it. Okay. There we go. So that's the link to get to the slides. Oh, I see. Oh, Heike put it there already. Okay. Well, I wrote a blog post, and I'll just click on it and show you. It's called Teacher Training in a Time of COVID. And it tells actually the story that I'm going to just run through really quickly. But if you want to read the whole story, you can find out how I taught workshops in Thailand in January, and the links to those workshops, and how this basically had a component to it that is an e-learning component. So I was teaching courses on blended learning in a blended context. Then I had to take that online, and I did a plenary as well. And these are all the links to it. But what happened with the e-learning component, that's when COVID-19 really started coming up. So it just ran into TALIN. I'll explain that. You can read about it there if you want, but let's go back to the slides because I can just walk you through it so much more easily here. So this is the course I was teaching. It's workshops2020.pbworks.com. That's the portal. So everything you kind of need to know or might want to know is all there. And in the portal, it has a link to the online classes, the online consultancy, and has links to all the recordings of all these resources. So in the sidebar, everything from the workshops that I gave, blended.
Trade association representing.
Okay, all right. So the links are all there. So you can explore that at leisure if you like. But that's the context. That's where I started out. I was there. And while I was there, this was in January 2020, started to notice funny things. As we got on planes, everybody's wearing masks, okay, except for us, my wife and I. This is a trip to Chiang Rai. They have Chinese people in Chiang Rai because it's in the north of Thailand, so people were much more paranoid there. But anyway, it's just starting to come. In January 2020, people were becoming aware there's an epidemic going around. In February, that English language specialist assignment went through February 1st. Then in about a week later, I went to Kam Tisol, flew quite easily. To get a break, we flew to Phuket for diving. We went to the airport, Phnom Penh, and lots of flights were canceled, mostly to China. Ours was fine. So we went to Thailand, no problem. And then I did my e-learning course. So that went from February 20th to March 11th. And you can see all about the course by just clicking on the link. And there's the course right there. It's in Schoology, and that's what I used for the learning management system. So getting on to what happened, which is the interesting part. So there you can explore that course if you like. If you want to find those slides, they're here at the bit.ly TALIN 2020 link. Okay, so here there were 3 weeks in the course. The first part of the course, we showed people blended learning environments. I thought this was going to be a consultancy of people who were in my, who had come to my workshops, but it really didn't turn out that way. It turned out that I wasn't getting many people signing up for it, so I put it out to my networks. And so basically I was kind of teaching a course, but without really having one. But as David Cormier says, that the community can be the curriculum, and COVID-19 provided the community that needed a curriculum. So by March, that's the last part here that keeps getting covered up by this whole thing, which I can't get rid of. Anyway, okay. I wanted them to apply the tools I was teaching to a blended learning activity online. So while the course was going on, leading up to that third week, that's when classes started closing. And so people started becoming aware how they should approach their, how are they going to approach their online classes. And one person who dropped by one of my chats was Jeff LeBeau, and he talked about, I don't know if you know Jeff LeBeau and his World Bridges Network. He's been a long time collaborator of mine. And if you click on this link down here, you can see the video where he explained how he set up his blended learning course and moved it to online. Now for him, he's so good at this that it was second nature, but he clearly made the point that in order to go online, if you're already in a blended learning environment, then as he said, just add Zoom. maybe not that simple, a little simplistic, but still, it made me realize that the course I had been teaching in Thailand about blended learning environments in a blended learning context was moving to an online, purely online, just like people around the world were having to do because of COVID. So one of the people in my class, she calls herself Ajahn T. She thanked me very much for this link. She thought it was very informative. And later on, up here she tweeted that she was going to see her family and kids in Italy, and this is my only hope now to manage classes in Thailand. So she was getting something from the course. Another person in the course said, he put in his Facebook page, I wouldn't even know how to begin teaching classes online this semester. He was being put in the situation of having to do it. So there's a lot of concern, which I'm sure you're all aware about. But anyway, these were coming through before the 11th when the course ended. So when the course ended, I set up, this was happening. You know, people were having a need to learn more about how to go blended to online. And so I set up a community extension. Here, I'll show it to you. Okay, this is the MOOC community extension. I decided to call it MOOC community extension. I thought we'd just move the course into a MOOC. Why not? It's an idea, but it says in here that why would you want to come here and work? Well, you could help us crowdsource resources for people having to transition from face-to-face to online. And you can participate in ongoing Learning Together webinar podcasts. Heike mentioned the learningtogether.net. She mentioned those podcasts. So this having to transition suddenly or crowdsource materials turned into another document called COVID-19 Teaching, tinyurl.com/COVID-19 Teaching. I'll show you that. It's a crowdsourced document. It's a Google Doc, which anybody can write on. And so I set it up. I have actually evolved it a bit. I update every day, almost daily. May 9th, today I'll copy paste the learningtogether.net upcoming events. Maybe we can see them here. Let's see if I can click on them and bring them up. This is what's coming up in Learning Together. Okay, so everything in Learning Together, that's what we're doing now. There's a table of contents here. To get that table of contents there in the TALIN, in the crowdsource page, I just copy that and I paste it over here. So I just, every now and then I just scratch that and I go and replace it. So I made a navigation hub because this thing was filling up with stuff that was, like in Joe Dale's materials that he showed us are very nice. I didn't really see a lot of structure in them. Let's have a look. Let's see. This was his crowdsource, his resource. I don't remember if anybody can write on it. I'm not sure. Let's see. No, I don't think so. Okay. Well, anyway, there's a lot of links here. Oh, he's got it indexed like this. So he's got like independent study for teachers, etc. So he has an index like this. So he does have an index resource. Okay. There's a lot of stuff there. So it's a little bit similar to this one, but what I did with this one is I just collected things that under people's names. And well, let's see, and I've got navigation. So if you don't want to scroll, you can go back up to the navigation hub and you can, Abu Fletcher, for example, he put another thing on his page. I'm spending more time contacting students and setting up Zoom meetings and teaching. Okay, anyway, there's lots of interesting things here. Show you one more that I kind of like. Navigation hub, okay. YouTube videos, teacher hero YouTube videos, teacher stars. Here's an opening icebreakers. Okay, there's just a link there. I'm not going to play it now, no time. But anyway, you should play that. A music teacher made a video for her, singing to her students how he was welcoming them into their online experience. Okay. So, and then that's where TALIN came from, because instead of having learning together, I decided to set up TALIN. And TALIN, I set it up with the same kind of navigation. So I've got a slide telling why it got set up, but basically you can find out how to propose or lead a discussion. I've got a slide about that. We have events that are scheduled. I'll show you those because I can tell you who's coming up. So this is what we're doing right now. We're at May 9th. And let's see, Karen Schwartz is going to talk to us about teaching English teachers using natural language processing, using coding. That should be kind of interesting. We have a break on the next couple of days. Nick Peachy is coming on Friday the 15th. So what's next with teaching in lockdown should be interesting. I try to encourage these people to, I know Nick has a lot of things that he likes to tell people, but I'd really like to encourage people to discuss with us. And so anyway, Dilip Barad is, he's setting up online courses in India and had some interesting things to relate. And if you want to present, you just go click there, you add yourself to this, and then you type
language processing using coding. That should
using code, yes. Well, we can click on that link if you like. Let's see, I'll show you more about it. Karen's, there are her slides, and this is where I've set up the information in learningtogether.net. Okay, so here's a simile generator she made with Python. And here you type in some abstract nouns and concrete nouns, and obviously it generates similes. So random forgiveness is like the sea, you know. So anyway, that's just an example. So she's set up a curriculum to teach students. So if you're interested in learning more, just come along on 11th of May, 1300 UTC. Right now, it's an hour short of that. Okay, so we're in about almost 1200 UTC right now. Okay, so anyway, I showed you the crowdsourced Google Doc, and I started that Google Doc on March 15th. So I stopped my online course on the 11th, and then by the 15th, I had moved into this MOOC stage and started started collecting resources. I actually started putting them at this wiki, which you see right here. So for a while, my idea was to crowdsource the COVID-19 teaching doc and then move people's things in an organized manner into the wiki. But I soon realized it was easier to organize the Google Doc. And so what I did was some of the links in the Google Doc link back to the wiki, but they're all organized now in the crowdsourced doc. Any other questions? A PDF calendar of the events. You don't need a PDF calendar. If you'll go to here, the events change all the time. So if I go to learningtogether.net, there is a, let's see, this one right here. That's the calendar for the upcoming events. This is in Learning Together. If you want the TALIN events, and they're really the same, because Learning Together and TALIN go hand in hand. I'll show you. Okay, so, okay, so TALIN, I'll just go through the slides and we can talk. So TALIN is a Facebook page, which is getting a lot of people signing up. If you go to these slides, you can find all these links. The slides are here. Follow the slides there. So you can get the slides and you can find all the links. We're going to end this session in about 10 minutes. But if you want to, here are the instructions, which are also in the TALIN document. If you want to give a session, you have to request edit access. That's so that is really hard to, it's easier to clean up messes if everyone who writes on your document is credentialed. So the only complicated thing is just request edit access to the left of your profile picture at the top of the page. I'll approve it. These days I'm always home on my computer. Then write your event in, give your time in UTC, email me if any concerns or anything like that. And this is all coordinated with Learning Together. And I can't really read this very well. I wonder if I could pop out of the screen share and I could read it. Okay, never mind. Anyway, the idea of, well, so basically it's a space where members can talk informally. That's very important, about how they're dealing with changes in their personal and professional lives and what they're doing to help others in trying to get through this process. So that's the theme that I'm trying to get people to address in these meetings. Okay, so I think there's another slide. I might be wrong. Okay, let me, maybe I ran out of steam at that point. How do I get out of this presentation? I tried to, no. Oh, there we go, I'm out of it. Yeah, that's the last slide. Okay, can I take questions for a few minutes? I intentionally tried to end a little bit earlier.
Yeah, it's been great interest to get the documents and also the schedule of events. So the schedule, I put tiny URL at TALIN, correct? And the document is bit.ly TALIN.
Yes, if you go bit.ly.
Yeah, I pasted both links, but just wanted to confirm with you, is that all right?
Well, both of them will work. The bit.ly one will take you to this slideshow that you're looking at right here. Mm-hmm. And the Learning Together, that one, oh, that's right, that's the podcast where all these things go. They're all podcast here. I'll show you that, because actually in the podcast learningtogether.net, you can find links to all these spaces. So if you go to learningtogether.net, which is really easy to remember, and you click on about learningtogether.net, you can see that there is that quick link to the next event that I showed you, and or upcoming presentations. You can, that's the tiny URL tinyurl.com/learningtogether. And then there's another interesting event here. It's an archive of all the 460 presentations. So actually we're up to 457 now. 460 is going to be in the next few days. We're in 458 right now. That's what we're doing right now. And if you want to see,
yeah, can I ask a question, Vance?
Sure.
Is there a chance, because you're so obviously giving out free resources, almost like a little bit overwhelming free, like it's so massive that what you.
That's why I gave you the link.
But another thought is possibly, would it be possible for you to run a kind of small MOOC, not small for numbers, but like a step-by-step, how do you teach online, so that somebody over a period of a couple of weeks would get the essentials of your incredible know-how?
Possible. Ask me later. I mean, sure, I'd be quite amenable to that. Yeah.
Because that would be awesome. I would be the first one to sign up.
Well, you know, ITDI asked me to do something like that in the summer. So, and then there's also the existing, the workshops.
And Daniela said, me too. See, there's the Me Too movement even in Zoom. No, honestly, we want to learn from you. You're the most experienced out of all of us, and you're the one. Hi, James is coming in. You're the person who's, as I said, often in the background, and then what you do is you produce all of this amazing content, but sometimes one doesn't really know where to start. So if you could come up with a, as I said, I'm your guinea pig. You can test this course out on myself, and I'm not saying that this should be a proper classical course. No, but it's just a matter of getting a group of people together to develop online teaching scenarios. Yeah.
I used to play guitar for audiences, and when the audience is clapping and really into it, you just keep playing. And if the audience is not, is kind of lukewarm, yeah, you just feel like, okay, that's enough. So, you know, I'm sure this can be drawn out of me. But also there is an existing course. There's this Schoology course, which I got here in workshops2020.pbworks.com, and just go over to the online course. And then it says, how do you join the course? You can enroll in Schoology. Gives instructions there.
Can you paste that link again?
Sure.
I think it's in the TALIN as well. Let's paste that link.
That one, well, if you go, it's the online Schoology. It's the online. It's the Schoology course for the online course. It's still there. So that would be one place to meet if you wanted to get,
I've got it.
wanted to get something going on it. Let me find, I'm sorry, I had to stop the screen share so I can get the text chat back. I seem to have lost it. Oh,
and I just pasted that Schoology course on PBWorks there. Thank you so much.
Here's the link to how you enroll in the Schoology course. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I didn't see the text chat there.
Are there any questions for Vance?
Kim, Jane, and James probably wonder, what am I doing here? I'm supposed to be there. Because we're on next. We're going to pop into Minecraft and try to share the Minecraft here.
Then I would like to wrap up this session, and thank you very much, Vance, for all you do. And we look forward to the Minecraft Symposium.
Okay, well, I see we're all assembled, so